boxer. I'm the first board of directors athlete representative on the Golden Gloves. This is the mid-year meeting this weekend here at Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City. The Golden Gloves this year and next year is going to be right here at the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City.
So, how long have you been boxing?
I've been fighting for about 7 years.
So it's mainly like local, like New Jersey, Philly, or have you been all around the world?
Nah, I ain't been around.
I mean, not the world. I mean, like the U.S.
Honestly, to take you around the world, man, I've been in Colorado Springs, one of the top candidates for the Olympics. I fought in the Olympic qualifiers, Memphis, Philadelphia, Punta Gorda, Florida, Georgia, Delaware. I live in Delaware, back and forth between here and PA, in Pennsylvania, Golden Gloves champion. Delaware, you know, where I'm kind of stuck right now. I don't want to be stuck. I ain't fought since July, but I fought down in Dover in my last fight. I gotta focus on boxing, you know. I'm somebody that, you know, I gotta work. I don't have parents or big time sponsors that are bankrolling my salary, you know. So it's kind of difficult for me just because I gotta make ends meet at the same time. But one great thing is just me. I don't have any kids, so I don't have to worry about paying for them. I don't have a wife, I don't gotta pay for her. It's just me. If I don't make money, it's just me now. You know what I'm saying? I can sacrifice.
You said you were an Olympic qualifier. What year was that?
2015, I was in the Olympic qualifiers. And this year, you know, we have Olympic qualifiers starting up again. The Golden Gloves is actually trying to become one of the qualifying tournaments. Right now, the Golden Gloves isn't a qualifying tournament. It's not a USA boxing qualifying tournament. There's some things that the Golden Gloves has to do, and that was one of the things that we talked about before. One thing, you know, we gotta have three-minute rounds to say, I will rules. We gotta have that. We gotta have a certain amount of weight classes. The Olympics is gonna make it so that it's only gonna be 8 weight classes instead of 12 weight classes. It seems kind of crazy to everybody else. A lot of people don't know light, heavy, you know, middleweight. But there's 12 different weight classes in amateur boxing, USA boxing right now. But in the Olympics, there's only going to be 8 for the men, 5 for the women in 2020.
And you said you were a Golden Glove.
Pennsylvania champion.
What year did you win that?
This year.
This year?
2018.
Congratulations. I guess as far as records or whatever, because while I do know some about boxing, like I say, our other friend, he's more or less more into boxing than we are. So as far as records wise, I
tell you, boxing ain't dead. We gotta continue to compete. We gotta continue to win. We gotta continue doing everything that it is that we can do inside and outside the ring, so that all of us as people and as fighters are able to have the lives that we deserve, because there's a lot of people that sacrifice and they don't have the ability and they can't be here. Like, I'm one of 3 representatives. All the boxers, all the champions that was out at the Golden Gloves tournament champions in Omaha this year had an opportunity to select fighters to be athlete representatives on the board of directors. All of us that raised our hands. They asked us who wanted to be on the board of directors. I raised my hand. I was selected along with a brother from Nevada and a brother from Tennessee. A brother from Nevada and Tennessee didn't come out here because they didn't have the money to get out here. USA Boxing and the Golden Gloves didn't pay for us to come here. Me being Pennsylvania, Delaware, being local, I was able to get here.
So, as far as for this book right here, what is this about?
This book is one of my coloring books. Like I said, I box. I don't do this for money either. I'm an artist. I don't make money with this. I give these books away. I give them away for free. This is the We're All Remarkable 2 coloring book. I made this to inspire. I dedicated it to Matthew Saad Muhammad because of what he did outside the ring. Matthew Saad Muhammad was the light heavyweight champion of the world. He's claimed by Philly. Philly claims him. He's a real Philly champion. He passed away in 2014. Matthew Saad Muhammad was the Trenton, right here in New Jersey, was the Trenton Golden Gloves champion. After his career, after he lost everything, after he won the light heavyweight title, but after his career, he ended up homeless. He lost his house, all the cars, all that, all the friends, everybody left when the money went. He ended up in a homeless shelter. After he got help while he was in that shelter, because people remembered him, people wanted to come, they got his story and everything. This man, he lost everything. They helped him get it all back. And when he got it all back, he gave it all back again by helping out. He started up a program, started up a newspaper, one step away, everybody one step away from homelessness. We're gonna knock out homelessness. That was the mantra, that was the mission. Because of what he did outside the ring, I dedicated this book to him. Everybody in this book is with somebody that they either inspired or that inspired them. So here in this book with Muhammad Ali, that's me out Colorado Springs in the qualifiers back in 2015. That's me with Joe Biden. Now, I'm in Delaware, so I meet a lot of Delaware politicians, a lot of people. That's me with the babies. That's really the most important thing. They the most important thing. And that's one thing that we talked about. That was the major message that I had as the athlete representative. The major message that I had was that we need to protect our youth. Everybody that's endangered, everybody that's vulnerable, the youth should not be victims like they are. There's too much of that craziness going on, too much of that in the church, in society, period. And boxing's no different. We got coaches that is not going to get away with doing what it is that they done. Sugar Ray Leonard, a lot of people don't know, Sugar Ray Leonard was a victim of molestation when he was in USA, when he was in the Olympics, and it's something that it continues. And people don't talk about it, people don't want to talk about it. It's like the church now. We got to talk about it. Matthew Saad Muhammad, this is him with Ali. This is Princess Diana and Princess Grace. I should let y'all know this book is a sequel. There was one before this book. So everybody in this book, Muhammad Ali, he's in the first book. Princess Diana, she's in the first book. Everybody that's in this book is with somebody that they inspired or somebody that inspired them. Gandhi's in the first book. And this one, he's with Dr. King, the Reverend, who was inspired by his nonviolent movement. He was inspired. Dr. King, his greatest influence was Jesus. Jesus was nonviolent too. But Gandhi took some of his teachings too. Mother Baltimore, Mother Teresa, Mother Baltimore founded the first black city. Our history, we don't always learn. She bought enslaved people's freedom. I wrote in here that this is something that's kind of embarrassing for me, but I wrote in here that Mother Priscilla Baltimore founded the first black city in the USA by buying slaves' freedom. It's important that we recognize that we as a people are not slaves, we're not slaves, will not be slaves if we don't call ourselves slaves or think about ourselves as slaves. She bought people's freedom. She bought people that weren't enslaved freedom so that they would be able to live lives that they were owed, We got to recognize our history, even me, being the historian that I am, I know that I was miseducated. I recognize that now. And
takes us a while to wake up.
This book right here, I didn't know what I knew. So, I didn't know what I knew.
Well, a lot more people are going to know about it because we're definitely going to put it out there.
But the Obamas, the first book, I put Michelle and Barack in there by themselves. This book, I put Malia and I think I got them, Malia and Sasha.
Yeah, because that's the next generation that's coming up, like you were talking about.
Yep. This book, I put the first one, I put Frida Kahlo. I put Frida Kahlo with Lorraine Hansberry in this book. We talk about equality. Another thing that we was talking about gender equality.
Mm-hmm.
We was talking about people changing genders, women becoming men becoming women,
right.
And fighting. We have a couple cases of that. 5, 6 cases.
How do you handle that though when a person, say, is born a male, was a fighter, then changes to female and is a fighter? How do you handle that though? You know, do you treat it all the same or?
That's tricky, and for me, it's different because I don't know anybody that went that way, that went from male to female. But I personally met and talked to the girls becoming men. We see a lot of fighters. Like, well, I don't want to say a lot, but
there's a couple MMA fighters that were born men, and fought as men and became women.
I don't know any of them.
And so it's kind of controversial because you don't know how to treat it.
And it is controversial because, from what I'm saying, we have our different beliefs.
Right.
Everybody, but me, I'm a progressive guy. I'm an inclusive guy. I'm about equality. But it's not right. I'm a Christian too.
Right, there you go.
But it's not right for a man to fight against a woman. I won't spar with a girl. I'm not gonna I'm not doing it. I'm not getting in the ring.
Right. We get a bad rap as it is.
I know grown men that will get in there and they spar with girls. They know how to work with them. They do what they do. But I'm not even gonna get in the ring with a girl because I don't want to forget my power.
Right. Or lose it.
And not to say that none of the girls is more. There's girls out there that got more skills.
That's what I'm saying. You may lose that power as well.
Come on now. 2 gold medals. We ain't had a man win a gold medal since 2004. Since I
Sad.
It is sad because our greatest talent leaves. That was another thing we talked about. They leave to go and make money because as an amateur, we don't make money.
Right.
It's hard.
What do you think about Oscar De La Hoya maybe be running for president? Did you hear that? Stranger things has happened.
I feel like I really don't like what happened down at the border and what's still happening that we don't know about.
Right.
I don't like the fact that all of the Mexican people and their children are just being locked away. We had concentration camps in 2018. There was a
and that's the only way you could call it. You can call it anything else in the world, but that's what it is.
I will explain to you why it is that you call it that. We had what they called camps of little brown people, a concentration of Mexican children in what they called camps. We had concentration camps in 2018 thanks to the Trump administration.
Yep.
We didn't have that when Obama was in office. We never had that before at all when anybody.
Well, we did have the Japanese internment. But here's the thing. When the Japanese internment camps were over, they all got free college educations. I'm pretty sure that these Mexican people aren't going to get free college education.
Nah,
He's going to try to give them a free trip back to Mexico.
Free trip back to Mexico.
Yeah, so I think that Oscar De La Hoya, he will do a better job than Trump's. I know he ain't gonna put no he ain't gonna put no Mexican babies in jail. I feel like the administration right now has shown a serious lack in care and a serious, really a celebration in the lack of care. They celebrated the fact that they don't care about people.
And they don't hide the fact that they don't care.
When his wife went down there to the camps, she had on a jacket that said, does anyone else really care?
Right.
Do you think I care?
Do you think I care? She didn't.
Apparently not. And then she claimed that she didn't know she was being controversial about it. But that's them. This is more about you and what you're trying to do. And I think that's very admirable because like we were saying earlier, boxing is kind of taking a back seat. And boxing used to be the primo sport in this country. And it's taking a back seat to MMA and all the other stuff. So
boxing ain't dead. Boxing,
as long as people like you are around, ain't gonna be dead.
Boxing will never take a back seat to MMA. MMA has used boxing to be the great sport that it is now, the most, the popular sport that it is now. It wouldn't be popular like it is without boxing. One thing that the MMA will never have is the rich history that
right, because it's fairly new.
And as we were speaking about diversity, you can almost say to the effect of MMA is diverse because it's taken from boxing, taken from wrestling, taken from like other martial arts as far as judo, karate, and so on and so forth, to try to become one.
most definitely. It's diverse in the fact that there are different modes of combat that you're able to do. That's why it's called mixed martial arts. I was telling him, I wrestled when I was in school. I wrestled for a little bit. I swung on somebody in the 2nd grade. If we foster our children's talent, then they're going to be good, you know? I wish that I would have started boxing right after I swung on that dude, because I was 7 years old. And a lot of fighters, a lot of great fighters start when they're around 6, 7 years old. I didn't start when I was 24, 25. And this right here, this is the first one. This is the We're All Remarkable coloring book. This is the one that has Ali and Gandhi. I wanted it to have people that helped other people out. People that was great service people. People that did for others. You know, Muhammad Ali inspired me to fight because of what he did outside of the ring. How he inspired people. How he fought for peace and equality. How he didn't want to go and kill people that wasn't his enemy. He said, ain't no Viet Cong ever called me a nigga.
That's right.
That's what he said. He ain't see no reason to go and kill none of them. You know, he in Louisville, Kentucky, and he got people telling him he can't eat at the same lunch counter as other people.
Exactly.
After he get back from the Olympics with a gold medal.
But now they try to rewrite history like that never happened. He know what happened. We know what happened. You know, but certain people want to omit that part of his history. And that's the most important part of it.
We can't let it die.
And like I say, it's basically almost what's happening now, to where he protested. They said, well, you can't box. He's like, fine. And now it's happening where Kaepernick's protesting, well, you can't play football. It's basically just the same. It's right now I'm blanking on their names, but who are the 2 Olympians who raised the fist?
I forget their names too, but they, yeah.
John Carlos and
John Carlos, yes.
I just met Dr. John Carlos. Met him at the University of Delaware, and he inspired what will be hopefully my next book. Maybe the book I'm doing a book called Black Patriots 2. The Black Patriots coloring book. It's full of great African American war heroes. I have veterans in my family, my uncles, my grandma, veterans. It was a veteran that told Colin Kaepernick to kneel out of respect for the people that passed away during the national anthem. We deal with a lot of white nationalism up in these meetings. They didn't want to have athlete representatives.
Of course.
They didn't want to have black people on the board. They didn't want to have...
They want to be in total control in your talent, and that's it.
When I went to the first board meeting in Omaha, and it all started out, when I first got selected to be athlete representative, there was just white people on the executive board. Not just white people, but old white men. The oldest white man, the oldest one, the former president that was sitting up there that still got a vote, Ray Rogers, he was on the Golden Gloves board of directors back when Muhammad Ali was in the Golden Gloves.
Damn.
In the 50s. Yeah, he was up there today.
Really?
So there's a word that I might have just learned. Was it antiquated?
Antiquated.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of rules.
Another means
and a lot of
old.
thoughts, and a lot of ideas that are antiquated. That
Old and should stay in history.
And
they gotta.
With that word antiquated, it's also a lot of them also will say, well, it's a tradition.
Oh yeah, they'll cover antiquated for tradition.
And well,
Let's go into the history and the tradition of this national anthem. Let's talk about what the national anthem really represents.
and
Who wrote it?
Exactly. And go further than the first verse. Totally different song.
The third verse where they celebrate
Slavery.
black people that was enslaved, that was freed by the redcoats, freed by the Europeans, freed by these people from England, these soldiers, and told that they could fight for their freedom alongside them, these redcoats, against us. I mean, not against us, but against America.
Right.
Against white people, not against us.
Because we had nothing to do with that
Against-
shit.
Against white people. So you got enslavers, not even just white people. All white people wasn't enslavers. But against this elite class that enslaved these oppressors, that's the word. You fighting against your oppressors. You fighting against who it was that got you in bondage. You fighting for your freedom. Francis Scott Key fought for those enslavers. He fought for those oppressors to get you back into servitude.
Yeah.
He was a lawyer that wrote the
national anthem
while he was locked up on a boat, a ship.
Exactly.
During the War 1812, thinking about these black people, these enslaved people that he looking at, like, what did he call? No hireling. He called us hirelings, and slaves could save what did he say? No refuge or slave, no hireling or slave could save. He basically said, you either going to get put in the ground or you going to run for the rest of your life scared and terror. You piece of, he said, you refuge, which just means trash.
Trash. And is that antiquated? Yes.
That's Francis Scott Key.
Yeah,
That's
but some
anthem that they kneel during.
And some people still think that it's disrespectful to kneel against all that Francis, because the only thing they know of is the first verse. That's like you talked about when we first started this interview. History. You can't just take pieces of history and call it the total thing.
You gotta get Black Panther on here real quick.
T'Challa, my king.
So, Black Panther, when I sat and watched that movie, I realized that there's something that a lot of people probably listen. And this might be divisive, this might separate some folks, but Black Panther was Jesus' story. A lot of people don't see it that way.
Was the what story again?
It was a Jesus story. Jesus was the first black superhero.
Sure.
They take Jesus, they take this African man's story, this political prisoner who was executed story, and they turn it white. They paint Jesus way. Just like they took Joe Frazier's story and they turned it into Rocky. Come on now.
And then they try to say, oh, we didn't take it from Rocky. We took it from Chuck Webner. Either way, you still stole it.
But let me tell you, T'Challa, he died, right? He died, and then he got brought back, right?
Right.
But before he died, he went home to his father.
Exactly.
And he came back, and did he not save the world?
And he came back. You're right. I never looked at it like that. I never did. But also,
just like Harry Potter, Jesus story. Just like
he was the chosen child.
Jesus story. And he died.
And he died, and he came back. Dude, now you got me thinking totally different on this film now.
It's real. And then when you look at the queens say the kingdom really, they the ones that got the rhinoceros to bow, and then everybody stopped fighting. All that back on, and I was looking at, because I was squirming during that part of the movie, and we was just killing each other. They got that to start. And then when they had their heads covered, and they went up to the mountains, to my brother that was sacrificed, that had T'Challa on ice.
Yes.
Saving them, waiting. They came back
M'Baku.
That was them rolling back the stone.
Yeah.
Come on,
and coming back and finding him. Yep. I agree. You never really put them together until you just did.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm in church, and I'm in the book. I believe in God. I believe in people. But at the same time, I know that we've been cursed for a long time because of the decisions that we make and the things that we don't do. We need to do a whole lot more. We need to speak out a whole lot more when we see something wrong. We need to speak out against injustice. We need to speak out against this scourge of discrimination.
We can't just be worried. We can't just worry about our own tribe. We need to, like Black Panther said, we need to look at us, the human being, the humankind, as one big tribe, one big family.
We need to look at the most vulnerable among us. We need to protect the most vulnerable. We got to protect the children. We got to protect black people that's being killed just because we black. And there's no kind of justice being served just because we black. The reason why Colin Kaepernick kneeled is because we being killed, because our apartments is being walked into.
And let's think about it. He could have easily kept that hair back down. He could have easily kept on passing for white. He could have easily kept taking that money. So you gotta be able to take your hat off to that he embraced his blackness at the risk of losing it all.
They always see him as black and say, but
he was white for the first parts of his season.
What about his white mother?
He was black then. He was white then, though.
No, but
he didn't embrace his blackness until he seen what was happening.
But also, no, because when you're mixed, they only want to see what you're what the dominance is to say. Because again,
Obama. He never had a white mom
mom.
or white grandparents.
J. Cole.
But he looks black, and that's all he ever saw. He was to say. So
J. Cole has a white mom. I mean, inclusion is progression. I don't think that anything is wrong with diversity. I don't think anything is wrong with you having. I mean, Serena got her white husband. What y'all think about Serena and this last matchup you had? She went against a young girl that was 20 years old, Naomi Osaka, who has a Japanese
mother
and a Haitian dad, and she made sure that she let the reporter know that interviewed her after she won that her dad is Haitian. Her dad watched Serena and Venus. Her dad watched what it was that their dad did.
Right.
And he brought up both his daughters. They both professional tennis players.
But here's the ironic part. But she's representing Japan. Yeah, I bet if she wasn't a tennis player, but if she wasn't a tennis player, she wouldn't be able to do half of the shit she's doing. Because she ain't blending like that.
And like you were saying,
but good for her.
I'm happy for her.
I am too.
I mean, look, Serena, she won a U.S. Open back in 1999, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's time to pass that torch.
This young lady is 20 years old, and you know, Serena, she was looking at the audience for her coach.
Right.
She's been doing that since 1999.
Exactly.
But at the same time, she got treated like she didn't need to get treated just because she's a strong black woman.
Right.
And she's yelling and she arguing, and as a strong black woman, she always gonna be made out to be the villain because she's a strong black woman. Because she's beautiful. Because she's smart. Because
she's strong.
Because ain't nobody touching her. Because she's the greatest tennis player ever, male or female.
Athlete, period. When you want to look at it.
Damn.
Right. Speaking of athletes, before we wrap up, give us the name of your books and the deal you were dealing with.
Even though I know you're primarily the boxer and everything else, but I was looking at your thing and it's saying findblackart.com, and is that your?
That's my website.
All right, we'll promote that as well.
I went to school for computers. I'm an IT professional, I guess. I went to school for that, but at the same time, I'm a fighter, I'm a boxer. My business is findblackart.com. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an artist. Create these books. Marque Publishing is a minority business enterprise. That's another word I don't like, minority.
Yeah.
Because we the global majority, but in Delaware,
but you're the minority.
Smallest state. They call us minority business enterprises, and it's something that we're supposed to be proud of. Like I got to pay money to do that. I got to pay money to be certified as an MBE. Diversity, diversity, what's it called? MBE, OSD, Office of Supplier Diversity, my business. But findblackart.com and dmarquehall, D.MARQUEHALL. Remember my name? It ain't really something that goes out of your head when you write it down, when you see it.
Right.
One thing that you could do is you could get a copy of the Black Lives Matter coloring book. That was the first book that I made, and I just gave you the last one. My Black Lives Matter book. I gave you Black Lives Matter, but you put it on your bag.
No, this is the one I had. No, that's the one I had. This is the comic book.
I can get so many books out. I can get which ones that I'm giving out. But the Black Lives Matter book includes victims of hate crimes and police brutality, and
the reason why we're
stories. This book right here, Dr. King, the Reverend holding on to his faith, his wife Coretta holding on to her strength, her husband, Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife, holding on to her dignity, Malcolm X holding on to his strength, his respect, his self-respect. They holding back Pop holding on to his rage, Booker T. Washington holding on to his conviction. I'm sure you can't really see it like that, but Bob Marley holding on to his peace, his oneness. Mary McLeod Bethune, the educator, holding on to her heart because she loved the kids, she loved the children. That's another word that we got to be careful with. They treat us like animals, and they just hurt us in the rooms, overcrowded, and they yell at us.
And didn't expect you to act civilized.
They expect us to act like little people, act like human beings.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us. We're going to get your name out there on Facebook. You're already going live on Facebook, and people are digging what's going down. Yes, sir. And we'll put you on the podcast as well.
So this book, it has victims of hate crimes and police brutality all holding on to what makes them remarkable too. Sean Bell's holding on to a wedding ring he never got to give to his wife. He was murdered right after his bachelor party by NYPD. Trayvon Martin's holding on to Skittles and Arizona tea. That's what he had when George Zimmerman killed him. Oda Benga was a man from the Congo, taken from his family, put on display in the World's Fair. Oda Benga, O-T-A-B-E-N-G-A. You talking about Amadou Diallo.
Yeah, Amadou Diallo.
Amadou Diallo's holding on to his wallet. He was in front of his own house. I know he went into his pocket to get his wallet to show him it was his house. He was taking out his ID. He was from the Guinea. Amadou Diallo got shot 41 times by those police officers. That was in 1999 too. Same year Serena won that U.S. Open. New York. That was both of them things happened in New York. Eric Garner is in New York. Eric Garner's holding on to a pack of cigarettes. You know, I obsessed over some of the different stories, what it was that happened as it was happening. I created this book 2015. I finished it, but the crimes didn't stop.
Nope. Sadly, no, it hasn't.
They only got worse.
I was drawing the people like as it was happening. Like I was drawing Freddie Gray. Like that was one of the last people that I draw. Freddie Gray, Walter Scott. And it just came to a point where like I was running out of room on the paper, you know. And I took the first coloring books down to Million Man Marque down there in Washington D.C. the 20th anniversary. Justin Sorrell. I put Justin Sorrell's song Bob Marley T-shirt. Bob Marley holding on to his peace. That's what he's supposed to be holding on to, his peace. But I met a lady that knew Bob Marley, and I gave her the book, and she told me that Bob Marley didn't believe in peace. She told me that Bob Marley believed in oneness. As long as we got different pieces of existence, you got your piece, I got my piece.
Put them together, you got one.